Hello. Welcome to Easy Does It. This is Easy and I'm doing it. What am I doing? Talking about some football. I've had a really good postseason. Obviously, my team is not in it, which is less than ideal, but what are you going to do with the circumstances? Well, what are you going to do with the circumstances? The answer is you're going to use your brilliant football mind to predict the games. Just guess how they're going to go. Make your bets, make your predictions. Now, I'm not a betting man, but I wish I was, because if I was, I would be. Oh, we got some viewers coming in. That's nice. That's nice to see. If I was a betting man, I would be I would be 7-3. I'd be up for sure. Now, I would not have bet on the Packers 49ers game, which is one that I got wrong. I definitely picked Green Bay, but that was a purely emotional pick. It was not a pick based in any facts. It was a pick based on, if I'm wrong, I'll be happy. And if I'm right, then I could be like, I told you, and then cry myself to sleep. But yeah, really fun postseason so far. And what I want to talk about a little bit is something that's kind of been going on in this network with the past couple of shows. And that is really just kind of the whole year. People saying, look at Patrick Mahomes now. Look that, he doesn't have weapons, and therefore he is, falling apart. Yeah, Frank, I do think Jordan Love is elite, and I'll stand by that. He's really freaking good, and it makes me sad. It makes my heart feel sad. But I don't want him to be good. I want him to suck, or I want him to suck and then go somewhere else and be good, because he seems like a perfectly good guy. But yeah, no, I do think Jordan Love is elite. But anyway, not really the point. The point is, people on the show, on the network, talking about how the Chiefs have fallen off and how Patrick Mahomes has lost the step or fallen off or whatever. Hey, look, if throwing for over 4,100 yards and 27 some touchdowns is falling off, then man, I would love to have a quarterback who falls off every year, because that is still really damn good. Look, waking up in the morning and having Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback is probably a really cool thing. Like that's probably really sick. Bullshit. He has a great coach. Yeah, I mean, I know you're talking about Jordan Love and not Mahomes when you say that, but yeah, look, whatever the reason, like, yeah, maybe it is because he has a great coach, but a great coach is supposed to make their players great. So, yeah, Matt LaFleur is a really good coach, and therefore he's gotten the most out of Jordan Love. But Jordan Love is still great. Like, whatever the reason, it doesn't matter why a quarterback becomes great. The only thing that matters is that he is great. And people were saying throughout the year, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes, he's not putting up the same numbers as he always does. The Chiefs are losing games that they should win. They've fallen off. Do you remember he won a Super Bowl last year throwing to Juju Smith-Schuster as his number one receiver? His number two receiver was Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And, of course, Kadarius Toney was still there. And, yes, he has a Hall of Fame tight end. Okay? Sure. Like that's great. A Hall of Fame tight end is great to have, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough to make a quarterback elite. Just ask Mike Ditka. Did he get any elite quarterbacks when he was a Hall of Fame tight end? How about Antonio Gates? Okay, maybe not the best example because Phillip Rivers was pretty good. But, Tony Gonzalez definitely played with some absolute slouches. And, also he played with some pretty good guys. But, like, the point being, yeah, Travis Kelce is an elite player. But, like, you can't say, oh, like every good quarterback has something going their way. Like, you can't just win it on your own. The only quarterback I could think of who's had success with marginally talented guys is Tom Brady himself and Peyton Manning sometimes. But even they have had, like, really good defensive coaches or, just like really good offensive lines. Like Peyton Manning always had elite offensive line play. And, what Patrick Mahomes has, even when he doesn't have the best offensive line, is a really good tight end. But to say that he's fallen off just because his stats aren't great to start the season after winning the Super Bowl is absolutely insane to me. And what makes it even more insane is, I mean, look, this is Super Bowl hangover. Something we don't really know much about. But when you win a Super Bowl, like the next year, you're going to start off a little bit slow. Like, you're not, you have a target on your back. You're not as obviously, like, there's exceptions to this rule, but like, you're not as keen to winning because, I mean, look, you obviously want to win, but it's like you're like, there's the target on your back, and there's the fact that like you spend a little more time in the offseason partying as you should, and therefore, yeah, there's a little bit more leeway, there's a little bit more house money. And I'll tell you right now, the Chiefs, they don't have any pressure this weekend. Yeah, obviously they want to win, and my guest might disagree with my comment that they don't have a lot of pressure, and I'll bring him in a minute. But the point I'm making is once you've already won 2 Super Bowls and you're in a kind of a retooling, rebuilding year, you got all the house money in the world. The pressure is not on the Chiefs this weekend. The pressure is on the Baltimore Ravens because they are the home team. They're the team that had this insane year, like just absolutely obliterating teams. The Lions, who are in the NFC Championship, Ravens smoked them. The Dolphins made the playoffs. Ravens smoked them. The Texans were really good this year. Last week, the Ravens smoked them. Hell, the 49ers, Ravens smoked them. So, yeah, the Ravens are the ones with all the pressure to be at home and beat the Chiefs. Anyway, I'm going to bring in someone who I don't think has been on this. He's definitely been on my show before. I don't know if he's been on Chicago Clubhouse Network. Good friend of mine. We met playing Madden years ago. Really good Madden player, former, played football competitively for a while as well. And the biggest Chiefs fan I know, and he knows his shit. Welcome to the show, Kailin King. Woo!
What it do, y'all? What it do, y'all? What it do? What it do?
Yeah, this guy, he's pretty hyped up. I want to ask you real quick, Kailin, what's it like waking up every morning knowing Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback?
It's like waking up every morning knowing you got a chance. You know, it's
Yeah,
like waking up every morning and you might have to defeat a day on Monday, but you can win on Tuesday.
yeah,
That's how I
I like
feel.
that. I like that for sure. Yeah, no, I mean it's he's pretty great, and I've accepted like, look, Chiefs aren't my rival. I have nothing personal against the Chiefs. They, they beat us when we play them, but like that's only once every 4 years. So I've accepted if the Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs year after year, I don't mind them winning because I like seeing greatness. I like seeing dynasties. That being said, it's kind of hard for me to root against Lamar, and just because of what he's gone through as a player, and just like how much fun he is, how good he is. I think this game is the Super Bowl, meaning I think whoever wins in the AFC is going to end up winning the Super Bowl.
I believe so
Um,
too.
I want to get your take on the game, and what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is obviously I'm guessing you're going to pick the Chiefs, but like what are some of the keys to look out for? Like, just give me your take on the game.
All right. So before I say this, everybody know I'm Chief Kingdom through and through. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy's got
Gotta, gotta,
all the swag.
gotta get right real quick. You feel me?
Oh yeah,
This weekend is super important. I mean, we gotta look at it like Lamar Jackson is way more dynamic than Josh Allen is. Josh Allen kind of killed us with his legs last weekend. So we got to really lock in on Lamar Jackson. But at the same time, I feel like it's a difference between Josh Allen using his legs and Lamar Jackson using his legs. My bad. Josh Allen is more like a tank. He's kind
mm-hmm.
of fast, but he's like a tank. He can get down there through the. Lamar is a finesse runner. He's gonna outrun you. He's gonna juke you. He's gonna do all those things. He ain't gonna put his head down and run you over. Josh
Right.
Allen to do that. So it's a difference in the run game, but nevertheless, Lamar is more dangerous. Lamar is the next Michael Vick. That's the only reason why I'm rooting for him. If they beat us, I'm rooting for Lamar Jackson to win the Super Bowl because I didn't get to see Michael Vick win the Super Bowl. So
Right. By the way, I think Lamar's better than Vic at this point.
most
Just
definitely.
like as a pure passer, I was like going
That's
through some old Vic tape even recently, and it's like Vic was, don't get me wrong, he was amazing and he had an absolute cannon, but like he made a lot of mistakes, and it feels like Lamar kind of plays mistake free football, and I guess you were able to capitalize a little bit on the Bills being prone to making mistakes last week. I guess there wasn't like a Josh Allen didn't have like a signature turnover. I don't think he actually had any turnovers, but at a certain point,
that
y'all were able to
surprised
kind
me.
of, yeah, that surprised me too. But at a certain point, y'all were kind of able to neutralize him. So I guess how does the game plan differ? Like for the Chiefs, soup like excellent defense, great defense all year. Very underrated defense. You think Chiefs, you think Mahomes, but really it's that defense that keeps y'all in it. And L'Jarius Sneed, who's just an unbelievable corner. But like, what would you say is the key, to neutralizing Lamar Jackson and to making it so the Ravens can't really do anything on offense?
Number one, we got to stop the run. That's number one. We got to stop the run. We got to neutralize the run. They got a lot of explosive backs, a lot of fast backs that can get upfield. Plus, Lamar Jackson can play off that run. We got to stop the run. That's most importantly. After the run comes the play action. So if we can neutralize the run, they can't get any play action going. I mean, Lamar Jackson, if we asking him to do anything that'll beat us, is sit back and throw the football.
Right.
Regardless of how many years he's in throw, he had good seasons of completeness percentages. We're gonna sit back and let him throw that football because I mean, if you're gonna let him run his legs, it's gonna be a long night. Plus, mixing it in with him throwing the football maybe 15 to 20 times. A game where Lamar Jackson got 89 or 85, I say 89, 85 to maybe 130 rushing yards, and he got like probably under or just about 20 to 22 pass attempts. That's a dangerous game. And they won that game right there. That's dangerous because, he didn't use his legs just a little bit. He didn't use the play action just a little bit. Like, we got to stop everything. But when it come down to it, you got to stop the run first because they start off with the run.
Yeah, I find, a lot of the times with Lamar Jackson, and I guess it is a little similar with Josh Allen. If you're able to keep him in the pocket, then good things can happen because they can make mistakes. And, like Lamar, like he's at his most dynamic when he's outside, when he's running, running around people and whatnot. I do also think Josh Allen is more, I think Lamar is better, but Josh Allen, like he's more, like he's got a better arm, which isn't a good thing because he trusts his arm too much. And, he often, kind of gets himself in danger that way, by throwing interceptions and whatnot. Um, and Lamar is more like he's always been a little bit more like, I don't want to say conservative with the ball because he's not conservative, but like he's, he seems to read a defense better, or he seems to kind of, he's a little more cerebral out there than Josh Allen. And I think that could definitely affect the Chiefs negatively, although I do think that the Chiefs have a really good chance of beating them just because of how good that defense is. But I want to talk the other side of the ball, of course. What the Chiefs are known for, which is having the best quarterback in the game, bar none. I don't care what anyone says. Mahomes is the number one quarterback in the NFL, and it really is not close. I
Not
don't
even
care what
close.
his numbers were this season. Like that's completely irrelevant. What matters is he wins in the playoffs. Like when it comes to the playoffs, he's going to win these games. He's been in every AFC championship possible. So I guess, but the thing is, those receivers, not trustworthy at all. What up, Emilio? Welcome to the show, my friend. Good to have you on. We got to talk some baseball soon, Emilio, by the way. Cubs made some interesting moves. But yeah, like what would you say are the keys, like offensively, because those Ravens, they absolutely fly. You got 11 guys coming to the ball at once. Roquan Smith is just an absolute beast, as we Bears fans know, at middle linebacker. Patrick Queen also in the middle. And Kyle Hamilton is just like an awesome safety. So what would you say? Like, what are, like, how could the Chiefs overcome that? Obviously you got Kelsey, but receiving game not so good. So how would you say the Chiefs could counter that defense?
Well, it got to start with Pacheco first. We gotta establish the trenches. We got to be the guys down there. We actually missing Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney just got ruled out with a pec injury, so that's going to be big for us. But we got Nick Algretti back there. He's been down that road before. He's a Super Bowl champion, so he's ready to step in. So I mean, I'm looking at that guard position this weekend to try to see like in between them two and them four holes, like what kind of runs are we running? Are we getting outside on our tackles, which our tackles are kind of iffy too, but they've been
Right.
playing good. They've been playing really good. Donovan Smith been playing good, and we got no penalties from Juwan Taylor, so that's excellent.
That's huge
Juwan
because
Taylor not getting a penalty, I'm happy with it. Pay him whatever you
the
want to pay him.
absolute miracle because he had a lot this year. He didn't have like 20 penalties this year, something crazy.
Man, I don't even. I forgot. That's how much
Yeah.
I don't want to remember.
Yeah. No, I feel.
Ridiculous, ridiculous. But at the same time, though, we just got to start with that run. Roquan Smith, he the heart of that defense, and
Yeah.
Patrick Queen in the middle. He playing off Roquan. Roquan is playing like uh, a new age Ray Lewis right now. Like he's
Yeah.
flying. He's my favorite line. I don't really got too many favorite linebackers in the game. He's one of my favorite guys in the game to watch on the defensive side of the ball. Kyle Hamilton, he's pretty good. Marcus Peters. I say Marcus Peters. Who? Why am
Humphrey,
I saying Marcus Peters? Is it Humphrey? Why is
Marlon
it
Humphrey, Marlon.
Marlon Humphrey?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Yeah, I know that sounded wrong.
yeah,
Marlon
yeah.
Humphrey.
No, Marcus Peters. I think we're thinking Madden 20 here.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm tripping. Marcus
yeah,
Peters. No, Marlon Humphrey. I like Marlon Humphrey though. I be watching his podcast too. I be checking his podcast out.
but he's
Marlon Humphrey.
questionable, which is really big for you guys. But I think he will play.
He no doubt about it. He gonna play.
Yeah,
He,
he'll tough it out. He'll do the Vicodin
he's
and
gonna
whatnot.
play.
Yeah.
He's gonna play. If he don't play, that's a big loss for them.
Oh, huge.
Yeah,
Although,
but
like, I don't trust any of your receivers. I don't trust any of your receivers. I'm sorry. I just like
I,
I
I
don't know
don't
how.
I don't trust. I trust Rasheed Rice.
I like Rice. Yeah, I was gonna say Rice is the one.
Rice is balling.
Right, but I don't think. Look, I think Rice also has a lot of potential to get really good. I still don't think he's like number one receiver yet. Right? Is that fair to say? Obviously, you've watched the Chiefs more closely this year, and I guess he's been the main guy. But I don't know. Like, give us a scouting report on Rasheed Rice.
I think we kind of forcing him into that role, and
Yeah.
and he's responding really well. And that's just kind of my take on it. He's forcing him into that role. We need somebody to go to on them slants, on them in, and somebody that can win on them breaking routes, and somebody that can take a screen 4 or 5 to 10, 15 yards. You feel me? We want to get a first down
Oh yeah.
with somebody that can get a short pass. Rasheed Rice is that dude right now. He's
Right, because
playing.
Kelsey can't do it all. You know, he's getting old.
Kelsey definitely getting old. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he surprised me last game. He had some big catches. He had some really big, 2 big catches actually. And if he can step up, because he actually been pivotal in the playoffs. If you go back each 5 runs last year against Cincinnati, we needed a touchdown. He caught it in the end zone, land on his back, pat through that while his ankle was hurting. Like
Right.
Valdez-Scantling come up clutch in the playoffs. So I mean, we kind of been hard on him this year. But I think he's
Well,
gonna play a good game too.
the thing is, between Valdez Scantling and Kadarius Toney, I've never seen 2 receivers who have been more bad for a team. Like it's a net negative. Like, you know, when we see guys, when you see guys run around, like Josh Gordon when he was with the Chiefs, we would joke around and be like, oh, he's just getting a workout, right? Like it was just, you know, because he's just jogging out there, right? But these guys, like, they drop passes that are often intercepted. It's like they're detriments to the team instead of being positive. Obviously, Valdez Scantling steps up in the playoffs. I know Kadarius Toney didn't play next week. Do you think he'll continue to ride the bench, or do you think there's going to be a role for him? Because he is dynamic when he has the ball in his hands, but he never has it.
And he wasn't ruled out this week. So,
Okay,
but at the same time, as a Chiefs fan, as if I'm gonna say I'm disappointed in anybody this season, it's Kadarius Toney. I'm disappointed in his production. Like, I knew what I was getting out of Valdez Scantling. We seen that in Green Bay, him dropping big passes and doing what he's doing and being iffy and wish-washy. Kadarius Toney, him being so young, and the stories that we was hearing from the Giants, we didn't want to believe him or whatever they was. I like him as a person. I like him as a human being. So
sure.
just to see him come over to Kansas City and still not produce, and then him giving opportunities, he's so talented, bro. Like, he is really, really good at football. And for him not to produce for us like he's doing, I don't know what his future looking like in Kansas City.
He reminded me in college a little bit, not quite as good, but he reminded me a little bit of Percy Harvin. You know, just like kind of that gadget guy who could run those reverses, run, you know, like maybe take a couple carries during a game and, you know, catch the ball really, really well. Obviously, has not been the case, although he did have a great punt return in the Super Bowl last year, which was, you know, you got to give him his flowers where they're due. But
Most
yeah,
definitely.
no, he's definitely been a little disappointing over the course of his time in Kansas City. But yeah, I also want to talk about the first name you mentioned, and I got to ask, like, I think I know the answer, but there's no way that's a Pacheco jersey, right? That's a Hill jersey.
This is a Tyreek Hill jersey.
You got the duct tape yet? Put some duct tape on the back.
Nah, I ain't gonna paint. I ain't gonna put no duct tape on this. I love Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's my favorite.
We all love Tyreek. Yeah, no, I mean
favorite. No love lost for Tyreek Hill.
Of course not. I mean, and to me, I think Tyreek Hill, when he retires, will be a top 15 receiver of all time, maybe top 10, because he's just done too much. He's too good. But
I ain't gonna lie. I feel a little wishy-washy with them kind of giving Pacheco Tyreek Hill number.
Yeah, you know, when I first saw that, I was like, wait, that's not right. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
Although it did make Pacheco look faster. You know, seeing anyone in that Chiefs number 10, it's like, oh, so he's probably really fast. But really, Pacheco, his game obviously isn't speed. His game is he runs like every blade of grass pissed him off, and he's like getting back at them. Like he runs so angry and hard and aggressively. You said he's going to be a key in this game. Do you expect to see the Chiefs kind of feed him a lot early, or like how do you expect the Chiefs to get him involved in the game plan?
Oh yeah. I'm expecting at least 15 carries from Pacheco. I'm
Yeah,
at least 15 carries from Pacheco. But I just feel like I don't know, like just me coming in, like I was nervous last week. I'm gonna say it, I was nervous last week. Josh Allen, they look really good. They beat us early in the season. They
yeah,
always sneak by us in the regular season. I just feel like one time they're gonna get us in the playoffs, but they haven't got us yet. You
not
feel me?
yet.
But I was scared last week, but I'm not really scared this week. Like I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens play the Texans, and if they come out and kind of had that little first half they had against the Texans, it's gonna be a long night for them. Cause Pat coming to play, and
Yeah,
if we
it's
look how we did last week, the offense was humming.
it's not
We,
going to work, like that strategy, obviously do not really a strategy, but like this idea of, having a bad first half, that does not work against the Chiefs. Like if the Chiefs go out in front, they're very, very hard to stop, and they've been hard to stop. So, I think if y'all are able to get Pacheco going, especially really early in the game, I think that will be like that'll definitely be a key to y'all just being successful overall. And man, I just love watching that guy run for a 7th round pick. My gosh, he's
look,
insane.
and another thing, nobody expected us to be here. Nobody expected us to be here. You look at last
Oh,
week,
I expect
10.
I'm gonna take credit because I learned my lesson last year, which is never ever pick against Mahomes. I have no reason. He's never given me a reason to pick against him. So yeah, no, look, yeah, most of the experts did not expect y'all to be here, but I'm gonna go through it just because it is my show. I want to talk a little bit just in general about what I've done this postseason, just in terms of my picks. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. You could go
No,
back
I
and listen to
see. I seen you. Yeah,
you
you've
seen
been
it, yeah,
hit.
yeah.
Yeah, he
But
been hit.
yeah, but if you go back and pick, listen to Dew Point Conversion, and go back to some of my old posts, 4-2 in the wild card weekend. I was dead wrong about the Browns. I thought the Browns would beat the Texans. I was way off. And then I was wrong about I thought the Rams would beat the Lions. I was wrong about that. And then this past week, I was just wrong about the Packers and Niners. But other than that, I've hit on everything, including the Chiefs getting here. Which, I mean, I'm not gonna like you can't flex really for saying, "Oh, I knew Mahomes would win." Yeah, that's all Mahomes does is win. But also at the same time, Bills Mafia, they were feeling like it was their year. They were really passionate about it, as they always are, and just kind of it wasn't in the cards for them. Um, but with all that being said, you know, you're not as nervous going into this game. Is that because you feel confident in winning, or is that because you know you have house money where it's like, oh, we came this far in a rebuilding year, like we should be fine. Like, tell me why you're feeling so calm going in.
Look, I want to touch on that real quick, but I heard you said you had Cleveland over Houston. Can you elaborate why you picked
Yeah,
Cleveland over Houston?
because Miles Garrett and like just that defense. I thought,
CJ Stroud, you
yeah,
never
no, I
heard of
know
him?
CJ Stroud is awesome. He's unbelievable. Also, I didn't think Joe Flacco was going to throw 2 pick-sixes. I just didn't think that was going to happen. And yeah, no, I was just dead wrong. I was just like, just boom, swing and a miss.
I
Yeah,
feel like it
that's why.
came down to quarterback play, and CJ Stroud is just showing he's one of those guys. He's a top 10 guy.
No, he's that dude. He's that
Yeah,
dude.
I I
Absolutely.
had, I had CJ Stroud all day long.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it, man. The only look, like I did not expect them to win last week against the Ravens. Going in really young team, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback going into Baltimore. That was never going to happen. But yeah, no, I definitely learned my lesson. Don't pick against CJ Stroud at home because that guy can cook and he could sling it. So yeah, no, that's why I was wrong. I was just thinking, Miles Garrett and everything, great defense. But honestly, I'm glad I was wrong because I like what Houston's doing.
Yes, yes,
But
yes,
yeah,
yes.
so talk about your calmness.
So to answer your question, like you were saying though in your intro though, all the pressure is on the Ravens. The
Yep.
Ravens, they're the best team in the league. Like Patrick Mahomes, nobody counted Patrick Mahomes to be in this AFC Championship. 6 in a row, actually. Got to count them up. Six in a
No,
row. Hold on.
it's pretty wild.
Don't forget that now. 6 in a row. Nobody counted Pat to be in this game. Nobody counted the Chiefs to be in this game. They never doubted. They doubted our receivers, even though they stunk. I'm gonna tell you, as a fan, they stunk. They know in the locker room they stunk this year.
Yep.
Nobody counted us to be here. The Ravens beat the 49ers already. The Ravens have beat Miami already. They beat all the top teams in the league already, except the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson is 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes. And if you go back to that last
One and
loss,
three. You mean 1-3?
no, my bad.
Yeah.
Mahomes is 3-1 against Lamar.
Yes.
Lamar only win against Pat was 2 years ago when they had Sammy Watkins. When they picked Sammy Watkins up as a receiver, and I remember that game. It was Clyde Edwards-Helaire that fumbled on the game-winning drive that we was going to score or kick a field goal in, and we was looking good. So his only win is a mistake win that we gave him. Really, I don't
Well,
know.
it's kind of a gift, and I think the Ravens went for 2 at the end, and it was like 36-35. It was a great game.
It was a great game, but all I remember is Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbling that ball.
Yes.
On our way to go get some points.
Yeah,
so,
and that's costly.
Lamar ain't really never threatened Pat in any game that they've played in. I mean, Lamar is a threat, but I feel like I've been more scared of like Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. Lamar got to show me that though. You feel me? And that's not no knock to him. He's got to show me. He's got to go in there. He got to kill us. He got to murder us. He got to give us 180 on the ground. He's got to give us 220 in the air, 250 in the air. He got to go in there and murder us because
and they are getting Mark Andrews back, which is good for them. But
at the same time, though, I don't know if that's good. Then you rushing him out there, and them Kansas City boys be out there hitting Shamari, Connor, Justin Reed, Mike Edwards, Trent McDuffie. Them boys be out there hitting. So I don't really suggest you rushing Mark Andrews back. Hopefully, they not trying to rush him back and they injure himself. I know it's the AFC Championship. You at home, you want to play. Whoop out of that. It's just one game to the Super Bowl, but health is more important because them boys out there be hitting. No bias.
Oh yeah, no, y'all don't fuck around and also underrated linebackers. Willie Gay, everyone, and then not Chandler Jones, Chris Jones up the middle defensive line. The Chiefs defense is a problem. I think the Ravens defense might be better, but I think the X factor in this game is like we talked about a little bit earlier, which like we talked about with the Browns game, which comes down to who's your quarterback. And while Lamar Jackson is really, really good, you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. You just can't do it. So
the Ravens got to be ready to go score for score with the Chiefs. Yes. The way the Chiefs was looking against Buffalo, it was either 3 or 7 every time.
Yep.
We wasn't. Even though I was frustrated with those threes, we was getting points every drive, so it's cool. I'm like, I know we finna go down here and put up points again, so that's cool. So the Ravens got to be ready to put up some points, and they didn't put up 30.
Hardman fumbled at the 1.
Yep, we should at least won by 10 points, but we don't talk about that. Hopefully they reduce his snaps. Andy know what he's doing. He gonna reduce his snaps. But the Ravens have put up 30 or more points at home all season. So we'll see.
So that's tough. That is tough, but it's also, and I will say, Mahomes is 3-1 against Lamar Jackson. That said, I think every game has been close. I'm gonna look it up real quickly just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that most of the games go down to the wire. Obviously, the one we were talking about was 36-35. But I remember there was one where it was 27-24.
And it was 33-24 or something like that. I think the was 33-24 us.
Yeah.
That was our most convincing win, 33-24.
33-24. Was that last season? No, couldn't have been. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here it is. Yeah. Y'all beat them 27-24 in 18, 33-28 in 2019. Then in COVID year, 34-20. That's right. But yeah, really, the thing is, the latest game that y'all have played in the Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes era, the latest was December. Other than that, 3 straight September games. So it's going to be interesting seeing this game happen in January. It's going to be a packed house, a lot of Ravens fans there. Of course, the Chiefs fans will show out in the way that they do. Obviously, Taylor Swift will likely be in attendance.
Jason Kelsey with his shirt off.
Oh yeah, hey, that's some good juju right there for you guys.
Yes, sir.
get your final score prediction. Final score, and if there was an MVP for this game, who would be the MVP?
Uh, Final score predictions are always tricky. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah, it's so hard to get right.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 28-17 Chiefs.
2017. Wow, 11. All right, cool. I also am going to pick the Chiefs because they got the quarterback, right? I think their quarterback's better. And I think it's going to be
And
a
that's
little
my
closer than
MVP.
it's always close. Oh, yeah, your MVP. That's right. I forgot to ask you that.
That's my MVP, Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes, yep. Solid, solid. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick against him. I'm gonna say 30-27, probably a backdoor 7 for the Ravens. I think it's going to be just a great game down to the wire. But at the end of the day, like I said, you can't bet against Andy Reid and you can't bet against Mahomes. They're too good, and they're going to dominate the AFC for a long time. I'm just glad my team's in the NFC. But yeah, and I guess my MVP would probably be Mahomes as well. It's a pretty basic answer, but it makes the most sense. Although, just here, I
It's a,
think
it's
Pacheco
a safe
scores a touch.
answer.
I think Pacheco's going to score 2 touchdowns. That's what I'll say.
Pacheco. I
Yeah, I
got
think
Rice. I got Rice scoring a touchdown too.
really? Okay, I could
Yeah, I
see it.
got Rice. I got
I could,
Rice or Kelsey
yeah,
scoring a receiving touchdown.
I could see that as well. Kelsey, yeah, I mean, Kelsey's almost a given at this point. I think he and Mahomes have more touchdown connections in the playoffs than anyone in NFL history. I think they just passed
Yeah.
Brady and Gronk.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, so
Greatness
good for
right there.
them. Yeah, no,
That's
like
greatness.
that's a Hall of Fame. That's 2 Hall of Famers right there. And yeah, no, like I said, it's fun to watch greatness.
Yes,
Super Bowl
sir.
last year was great game. But yeah, no, like I said, I'm glad my team's in the NFC. Speaking of which, there is an NFC championship going on. We won't talk about this one probably as much, but we got the Lions going to San Francisco. Surprising that the Lions, it feels weird still saying the Lions are in the NFC championship, but here they are, led by Jared Goff, going to face 49ers, led by Brock Purdy and an amazing supporting cast. I want to ask, who do you think is going to win, and who would you want to see win? Like, which team would you rather face in the Super Bowl? Probably 2 different answers.
I would want to see the Lions win just because of the history,
Yeah.
but I gotta go with the 49ers. I
Mhm.
think the 49ers are the best team. I mean, it's a smart pick. Like, I mean,
They're
I
damn
don't
good.
know. I don't know. I'm really feeling like the Lions can do it though. I don't know. Something
They have
something
this
telling me they
underdog
can do it.
quality to them, don't they? Where it's just like I feel yeah, because it's like, yeah, the Niners on paper, they got everything going for them. They got really good defense, really good defensive players. And, obviously, Debo Samuel will be healthy. Kittle, McCaffrey, like that's such a stacked lineup. But the Lions have like this moxie, this like if an underdog is gonna come in to San Francisco on the road and beat a juggernaut, it's gonna be the Lions. That's why I think it'll be a good game. But I can't bet against I can't bet against the Niners. They're too good this year. They just got too many players all over. What do you think? Give me your prediction, final score, MVP, and like X factors.
Mm, I'm gonna go 34-21 San Francisco, and I'm gonna get an MVP to Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's something else. That guy,
He's
I'm
gonna
telling you, he's
he's gonna he's gonna have over 150 all-purpose yards.
that's a bold claim. Not the boldest, but yeah. No, that I could definitely see it happening, and I agree. I think the Niners do win. I'm gonna say I think they'll win by 10. I'm gonna say 31-21. Uh, Lions will they'll put up a fight for sure. I think there's no question about that. I
I,
love David Montgomery. I root for David Montgomery, even though he's not with the Bears anymore, because I like the way he plays. He reminds me a little of Pacheco. Like they both just run super angry. But yeah, they're going into where do they play? Levi Stadium or whatever. It's going to be sea of red out there, and I
Good weather
think
too.
yeah,
Good
um,
weather.
yeah, and Goff does not play as well outside of Ford Field. Like he's really good at home. He's still good on the road. He's a good quarterback, but not nearly as much as he is at home. Like at home, he's lights out. On the road, struggles a little bit more, a lot more really. And that's why. I think it's going to be a tough test for the Lions. They will put up a fight. They'll score some points, get some yards, all that good stuff. But the Niners just have too much firepower. The Niners, not the Lions. The Niners have too much firepower. They're going to win by 10. That's kind of that's kind of how I've been doing my predictions this year. Is like when you look at it, the teams like with that one X factor, like that one really good player, or like just that have like better units, are just finding ways to win. And that's and that's why I think I know the Ravens are favored, but there's Mahomes, and I know the Lions are a really good underdog, but like you just what the Niners have been doing, it's just going to be very hard to stop. So then you got the Niners and the Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch, which the first time it was a great game, a lot of fun. I was very happy. I was not rooting for the Niners. They were up by 10. It was looking kind of gloomy.
It was a sweaty one.
What'd you say?
It was a sweaty one.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a sweaty. That's for sure. And then, late in the game, I think a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, they ran this wasp play. And Mahomes stood in the pocket, took a hit from Bosa, but just fired a dime to Hill. And that completely changed the momentum of the game. 2-3 touchdowns later, completely different game. Chiefs win the bowl. I guess we might as well talk about it. Like, if it is Niners Chiefs, y'all got it, right?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see Detroit in the Super Bowl. Get my angle right. My bad. Let me get my angle right. Chat. I want to see Detroit in the Super Bowl because we lost to Detroit in the beginning of the season on that Kadarius Toney drop, and Detroit is just. I don't want to say it's revenge. It's just a tougher team. I feel like Dan Campbell deserves to go to the Super Bowl. But the Niners, if we play the Niners again in the Super Bowl, I feel like the Niners might beat us.
Yeah,
I feel like they might get them one.
Game.
I feel like they might get them one.
I think if the Ravens find a way to beat the Chiefs, then if they play the Lions or the Niners, it's going to be a blowout in the Ravens' favor. I think the Ravens would win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. But I think if the Chiefs win, then it's going to be a much closer game in the Super Bowl because the Chiefs, because the Chiefs don't click quite like the Ravens do. The thing that separates them from the Ravens is their quarterback, obviously. But if it's really, I think the Chiefs, no matter what, they're going to have you're in for some sweaty games. Probably 2 of them. If you win the AFC Championship, I think it's going to be a very close game. And then the Super Bowl, if y'all play the Niners especially, it's going to be pretty close. The Lions, I think y'all could probably beat them a little more handily, but Chiefs-Niners would be the best game. I think that would be the most fun one.
I feel like the script is if it's Lions and Chiefs, because whoever's watching this video, y'all can come back to it, call me a clown, whatever. I got the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. I got the Chiefs. Baltimore gonna have to show me. Not even being a super fan, I have Mahomes going to the Super Bowl. I just feel it in my gut right now.
Oh, you're not being a homer. That makes sense. Yeah,
Mahomes is gonna find a way to win Sunday. So I had him going to the Super Bowl. So me just playing the Lions, that's cool. But the Niners, I don't know. I just feel like they're a talented team. They deserve a Super Bowl just because of the roster that they assembled. I feel like the coach, Kyle Shanahan, he's got to the dance too many times and lost NFC championships and lost. He deserves a Super Bowl. He's a hell of a coach. I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like if they come out and shit the bed against the Lions, is it time to get a new coach?
Yeah, no, honestly, shake some up. Because at a certain point, the Niners are really good. They're really good year after year after year.
They're really, really good.
But at the same time, it's like they can't get over this hump. What's gonna push them to the next level? I don't think they're gonna be in a situation where they get rid of Shanahan though, because I do think they will take care of business against the Lions, and I don't think losing the Super Bowl warrants firing a head coach. Not the next year. That being said, it definitely says a lot. His legacy right now is guy who lost Super Bowl to the Chiefs after leading by 10, guy who was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons when they blew a 28-3 lead. So, he's got a dependency.
NFC Championship lost last year to the Eagles.
Yeah. Well, that was I have a hard time blaming him for that. They lost both their
Yeah,
quarterbacks
it
that
is
day.
what it is, though.
But
You
yeah,
know,
no, I mean it's still a loss, that's for
a
sure.
loss is a loss. What about the year
And
before that? When they in the NFC Championship before that? The
they
year before
were
that?
in they were in the NFC Championship the year before. Wait, well, yeah, wait, the year before was 21. Yeah, they lost to the Rams. That's right. There you go. That's another one. Yeah, they were up. I think they were up by 10 to the Rams in the second half.
Yeah.
And the Niners should beat the Rams, by the way. Like they beat the Rams every time they play in the regular season, except this year. But like for the past like 4 or 5 years, they've had their number. But except in that one NFC Championship game, and that's why I'm like, not really sure what's gonna, not really sure what to expect out of the Niners because they do have a tendency to choke. But
So the
I
so
think
with that
they'll
being
be
said,
able to manage. What'd you say?
so with that being said, the pressure's on the Ravens Sunday, and the pressure is on the Niners, the two number one seeds, because you number one seeds, like
Yes, that's a good
that's
point.
supposed
That's
to be the best
absolutely
two
right.
teams in the league. So all Detroit and Kansas City got to go in there and do is play football. And
Yeah,
that's probably my prediction for the Super Bowl. Since I'm thinking about it right now, I'm going Detroit, Kansas City in a bowl.
nice, nice. I like that because you're recognizing like the Lions and the Chiefs have house money, right? Like the Chiefs, obviously, they've won their Super Bowls. It's a retooling year for them. They never rebuild because they have Mahomes, but like it's definitely a retooling year. It's supposed to be a down year, and they're in the championship. And the Ravens are the home team. They've had such a great year; they can't lose like that. And on the other side, yeah, Niners have a ton of pressure. Frank here says Ravens Niners never root for Detroit. But Frank, look, I'm not. First of all, I'm not. I don't hate the Lions like I hate the Packers. I have nothing against the Lions. It's not personal with them.
Detroit is a really good football team this year, man. And if you really, really love football and you really like to watch the game, you got to give them their respect. They're a really good football team. They running that football downhill. They playing
Yep.
off Jared Goff's best skills, getting out the pocket with the play action. They got Amon St. Brown catching everything everywhere. Jameer Gibbs is coming on. You got to get them boys
Jason
a
Williams is awesome. Like,
Jamison Williams, straight out of St. Louis. I love my boy. Shout out him.
oh,
He's
nice.
balling this year. He coming on. They got a good offense. Laporta out of St. Louis also. Shout out him. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Oh
They
no,
got some
Laporta.
balls on their
Like, how
team.
many teams trade their star tight end within the division and then get someone even better in the draft? Like that's crazy. And then Frank's like, shut the fuck up, Elijah. Any NFC North team will never root for them. Respect them, sure, but no question. Nah, fuck them. Yeah,
No,
look
I think
again,
that's
but look, I'm
that's
not.
like
I'm
the
not rooting
Bengals.
for the Lions. Look, I'm not rooting for them. I'm rooting for a good game on Sunday. I don't care if it's the Lions or the Niners. I just want a good game. But I think I'm leaning Niners, like in terms of who I want to see win, because I am grateful that they beat the Packers. Like that's really cool of them. So yeah, they have my absolute support. Um, but yeah, really, it's just about getting a good game. But to go off what you were saying, yeah, the Niners definitely have more pressure because they've actually been here before. The Lions, whoa, wait. You rooted for the Packers, dude. Frank, I didn't root for. What are you talking about? I didn't. I never once rooted for the Packers. Not in
Frank on
my
your top.
entire life, Franklin. You're Franklin now, by the way. You're Franklin, little turtle, for that comment, Franklin. Don't worry, Frank and I, we go way back. Like Kailin, I never root for the Packers. Like you would know, you could attest to that.
I
But
don't know.
oh, shut up. uh, but yeah, I think wait, you said Frank. Okay, Frank, we're gonna have to talk after the show because like you said, look at the chat. I said Jordan Love is really good. I didn't say let's go Packers. That's crazy. Can't believe I even just said it right now. It feels dirty. Like putting those words in that order is like that's like it feels almost criminal. Like it's disgusting. No, I didn't root for the Packers. I picked the Packers. There's a difference. Like I can't. Oh my god, I can't believe I have to explain. Like there's a difference between rooting for someone and picking someone. Like anyway, but that's not the point. Point is, Lions don't have any pressure because they've won two really really big games in a row. Whereas the like really big for them. Whereas the Niners have already been here. So yeah, the Lions are going to be able to just go out there and play ball, just kind of do their thing. I think the pressure will get to the Ravens. I don't think the pressure will get to the Niners in this game. And that is why I'm saying a Niners Chiefs Super Bowl with probably the Chiefs coming out on top, but we'll see how the games go first. before I make that call because injuries happen and you never really know. But yeah, Frank, I know I realize you're fucking with me. I appreciate it. I just appreciate the support. Always commenting on my show. That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. But yeah, I'm
So you
not going to
got
want. Look, do you think I
so
want Don Burr to comment on all our shows during the offseason being like, aha, fuck the Bears, man. The Lions are champs, baby. No, I don't want to deal with that. Although, like, respect to Don Burr, he's a good troll as far as trolls go. By the way, Kailin, Don Burr is a Lions fan who's been turning up in our chats and just being like, hey, fuck you guys, go Lions. So that's all about.
Don Burr. So you got the
Yeah,
Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, right?
I do have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl easily.
I just want to say this: if Pat win the Super Bowl this year, there's no debate about it. He's the GOAT.
The GOAT.
No, no glazing. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play football.
Look. I
No
hear you.
glazing. No
I'm
glazing.
look. You don't need this. You don't need to look. You don't need to justify it to me. I know you're not glazing. I know, but like, look. I agree. I think he's at the very least number 2. But like, I mean, don't you think he's got to win a couple more to get that GOAT status?
The
Because
only reason, the
Brady's
only
got
reason,
7.
the only reason
Brady
why I
has.
think of, the only reason why I think about that is when somebody showed me Tom Brady's stats in Super Bowl after the age of 30, and I kind of say, yeah, you're right. You feel me? You're right. Tom Brady's still the GOAT. But Pat Mahomes is, I'm just saying, the things he do with that football in his hand, the impact he played with when he stepped on the football field. Number 15 is that dude, man. Like, he's
I
the
look.
greatest quarterback I've ever seen play football. I've seen
I
Tom Brady play.
I think. Look. I think I tend to agree because Mahomes is unquestionably more talented than Brady ever was. Like he's able to do more things with the ball than Brady was ever able to do. But that said, like Brady still like there's something to be said about Brady who's always has his team in position to win late in the game. But really the argument for me is yes, I agree that he's on the GOAT trajectory, but it's still too early. It's just,
So, so
because
answer this
Brady
question. So answer this question: how many Super Bowls does Pat Mahomes have to have under his belt for him to
I don't think it's
dethrone
just about Super Bowls.
Tom
I think
Brady?
it's about playoff wins too. But I'd say like I think if he gets to 4, then he's unquestionably in the conversation. Look, I've been saying this year, like I think Mahomes is the GOAT, or I think he will be the GOAT. Frank, just so you know, Brady has 7, not 6. The thing is, what we have to remember with Brady is that he has 2 distinct Hall of Fame careers. Like if you take
Yeah,
Tom Brady in the first half of his career and Tom Brady in the second half of his career, those are 2 Hall of Fame players.
that's
And
the only thing
Mahomes,
I can agree with.
if Mahomes retired after this season, he'd be a Hall of Famer. But like, and he's obviously not going to retire after the season. But like, look, if I'm starting my team from scratch and I could pick either prime Tom Brady or prime Patrick Mahomes, I'm going with prime Patrick Mahomes, right? Like Patrick Mahomes is the better, more talented player for sure. And he's getting there in terms of accomplishments. Like 6 AFC championships in a row is unfathomable. But I mean, 7 rings, man. You can't. It's hard to argue with that. I think it's fair to just call him 1A, 1B. But yeah, no, I love this conversation because it's like it's he's it just shows like Mahomes is absolutely getting there, and the things that he's done, like 6 years as a starter, is just insane. Mahomes doing a lot, doing without a lot of weapons, but he at least has Kelsey, just like Brady has Gronk. Yeah, that's true. Like he's got Kelsey, but Brady did have Gronk, and Brady had Belichick, who definitely helped him win those first Super Bowls. That's another difference. Is if you look at early Brady, especially like that first Super Bowl, it was Drew Bledsoe who really won the AFC Championship for them that year, and the Tuck rule, and the Patriots got a pick 6 that game. Brady played well, but he didn't play like amazing football that game. He just kind of did what he had to do. While Mahomes, for Mahomes' first Super Bowl, he actually played like a really great game. Like he had to come back and lead the troops and make some crazy throws. So yeah, I mean, if you really just want to analyze like what each person has done, it's like there's definitely an argument to be made. Yeah, you know what, Kailin? I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that Mahomes is in the GOAT conversation. Let's
He
see what
definitely is.
Patrick Mahomes being the GOAT after one more win is like easy growing chia pet hair. Okay, Frick. I don't even know what that means. That's funny though.
It's like he's saying it's like we handing it to him. Nah, but at the same time though, Pat, nah, he just his talent is he's making me shake my head. Like the throws when you really watch his film and you really watch the breakdown of the film, the game is different. Like the throws that you see him actually make, like go watch some breakdowns of like Kurt Warner or I forgot the guy, the quarterback I was just watching. A former quarterback. I forgot the guy I was just watching. He in the NFL.
What team?
But he's a retired quarterback. I forgot
Yeah,
his
but like
name.
what team did he play for when he played?
I can't even remember. I can't. It was on YouTube, but he was
Huh.
showing me the breakdown of the film. Pat Mahomes just makes some amazing throws, man. Like a lot
Oh,
of
you're
these
talking about
quarterbacks.
JT O'Sullivan, right?
No, it's not him.
Oh, okay.
Because
Oh,
I be watching it'll be a lot of guys doing. I watch Kurt Warner do it. I think
yeah, Kurt
you know
knows his shit.
Baldy does it.
Baldy's
Um,
great. Yeah.
it's a lot of dudes that be breaking down film. I forgot who it was. I think it just
Chase
popped up
Daniel
on
was
my.
awesome.
I think it was Chase Daniel. There you go, Chase
Yeah.
Daniel. That's
Former
who it
Chief,
was.
former Bear.
Yeah, Chase Daniel, man. Went to Mizzou. Shout out
Yeah,
Chase
yeah, he
Daniel.
did. I
Come on
remember. I
now.
remember
Yeah.
playing Mizzou when I was like in elementary school.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I was living in Missouri, little kid. Chase Daniel
There you
was the
go.
quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was Chase Daniel. It was that's coming back to my memory. It was Chase Daniel. He was breaking down the film. Pat just he different, bro. Like the throws he can make. He missed some throws last week. Like he could have Kelsey on that corner route on
yeah,
Poirier in the beginning of the game. He missed him on that, and then he missed Valdez Scanley on a three by one. Where Valdez Scanley, I think he was running the corner route on the right side too, and he missed him
yeah.
too. Pat could have had two more touchdowns that game. Like, but I don't know. We still ain't seen no perfect game from Pat Mahomes yet all season with these receivers. And when we do see it, it's gonna be scary. I'm
Oh,
telling you.
yeah. No, it won't like once they're really in sync. But the thing is, it's already scary because the fact that he's been able to take them this far, while the core of the receivers is as bad as it's been, that's scary. That's terrifying. That's Brady level shit. Like that's like, oh man, like I said, I'm just glad I'm not in the AFC because I don't have to deal with that shit every year. But yeah, I want to also say, just on the subject of that last Buffalo game, yeah, Mahomes missed some throws, and a lot of Bills fans were like, "Oh, we missed the field goal. We would have gone to overtime. We would have tied the game." Even if the Bills made that field goal,
That's just sad.
Mahomes would have. He would have. Yeah, there's way too much time.
It was a minute and something left. It was a
Yeah,
minute and
like
something
two
left.
timeouts, easily
Yeah.
they would have taken him down. They would have kicked the field goal. Harrison Butker is a money kicker. They would have, yeah, no, I mean the Chiefs would have won 30-27. So like it's not like even when the Bills decided to kick that field goal with Bass, like even before he missed it, I pretty much called game for the Chiefs because it's like, oh, really? We're gonna give Mahomes this much time? Yeah, no shot, man. But yeah, and
And
that just
that
kind of goes to show you like Mahomes is inevitable, and that's something that the Ravens need to be prepared for on Sunday.
and
Is
everybody kicking that kicker while he down for the Buffalo Bills. And y'all know y'all are exactly right. Because you only got one job. All you gotta do is make the field goal. All you gotta do is kick the ball.
Yeah,
You don't
no,
get no
exactly.
sympathy. You
Just
you
make
know
your damn kicks, right?
he know to have deleted all his social medias because he know
Right.
why. You feel me? I mean,
Look, the thing is, at the end
as
of
a
the day,
Chiefs fan, I was happy. Oh my God, thank the football lords because
yeah,
they
no,
showed
they've
up.
been the football lords have been very good to you guys for sure.
Wide right.
Yeah,
Buffalo
no,
Bills. They
the Bills
scared
are
of that
cursed.
statement.
The Bills are absolutely cursed. As a Cubs fan, I could recognize a curse when I see him. Well, they're snake bit. I guess that's really the term. They're snake bit. And like, yeah, I guess it's an interesting point. Look, all you got to do is make your damn field goals, right? Like being a kicker in the NFL is the best job in the world because you don't need to work much. You just have to kick the ball occasionally, and you get paid. You still get like a couple $1 million. So yeah, like it's a great gig. So yeah, I don't feel too bad for him. Just like I didn't feel bad for Cody Parkey, whose name I can't even say without feeling disgusting. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that game anymore. But yeah, don't feel bad for the kickers. I could get on board with that. I feel bad for the fans, because I get it, man. Losing sucks, but also like on to the next one. Not my team, not my problem. So yeah, it's thank you guys for tuning in for sure. Going to be a lot of fun on Sunday. Oh, I want to ask you, I guess, real quick, before I do wrap up, just completely shifting gears. Chicago Bears quarterback situation. We got Justin Fields, who there's a lot of opinions about him. And there's this young kid, Caleb Williams, who is pretty remarkable in the draft. Now, Frank, if you're still watching, I know you have a lot of thoughts on this. But Kailin, I'd love to get your perspective as someone who knows what a good quarterback looks like.
I would, if I was the Chicago Bears, I would keep Justin Fields because Justin Fields is a
Yeah.
good quarterback. I feel like Caleb Williams is a good college quarterback. I mean, but at the same time, though, you don't know if that's going to translate to the NFL. And you really give up just, I feel like the Chicago Bears ain't did enough for Justin Fields. Put some weapons around him. I mean, you got DJ Moore, and they kind of produce, but he still need an offensive line. He's around there scrambling, running. He still need playmakers on the outside more. I like Mooney. I like um, the guy that just went and got what's his name from DJ
Uh,
Moore. I like
yeah, DJ
him.
Moore. Yeah.
You feel me? But other than that, like I don't really watch too much Bears games, so I can't
Sure.
even
Yeah.
name
Why would you? Like,
too many receivers on the team. You feel me?
right.
But I watch it the highlights. You feel me? Occasionally, Justin Fields. I like him as a quarterback. I thought that he should have went to San Fran, and San Fran would have had them a generational quarterback for the future. But
Yeah,
they
but
chose
I
Trey
also think
Lance.
when it comes to the 49ers specifically, it's like they can't have their quarterback can't be the playmaker, right? Their quarterback has to be the distributor. Like that's their system. The difference between like what the Ravens like to do and even like what like the difference between what like the Ravens and Bills want to do and what the 49ers want to do, like to put it in layman's terms, is the Bills and the Ravens, their quarterback is the playmaker. And it works for them and it's great. But for the 49ers, Brock Purdy, he's not the playmaker, he's the distributor. Yeah, he can make some plays off script, but really his job is to be more like a Rondo. You know, he wants to get the ball to the guys who could score. He's not, out there running around making crazy plays. And either way works. Like we've seen both methods be successful in the NFL. And that's why I'm a little bit on the fence on this matter. On the one hand, I think it's kind of crazy to pass up on someone with as much talent as Caleb Williams. On the other hand, I think Justin Fields is pretty good and can be really good. I don't think he's proven enough yet, but I also think that he has shown enough flashes to where, if you get a good offensive infrastructure in place, he should be able to win at the NFL level. And yeah, Frank is with you. Thank you. Our dumbass coaching runs an offense that is predictable and doesn't let him shine. Well said, King. That's why I wanted the Niners passing coordinator as our new OC. Yeah, look, again, the Niners system is not conducive to, well, I guess like Fields could have success in that system to an extent, but also like Fields has shown in the NFL, like he's got to have the ball in his hands. Like he's got to run the ball a few times every game to really
I just don't want.
Oh man, I lost him. Where did he go? Well, we're gonna pay a bill. I'm gonna go ahead and show an ad. Look, I'm not a beer guy, but if I was a beer guy, there is absolutely no question in my mind that I would be a Moore's beer guy. Like that's what I would drink. So.
Listen, shout out to my man Terrence from Chicago's Clubhouse podcast from the Moore's Brewing Company here in Chicago, Illinois. All right, we got bros out here putting out this for the Moors. It's tasty. I didn't even have to come on here lying about this. All right, this tastes like what I like when I drink a beer. I don't drink a beer often because I'm too big and I need to stay off of carbonated drinks. But this is the carbonated drink you need to open up and crack and take a sip. All right, if you want to come out of the dark ages, be educated. All right, get you some of this Moore's brew right here. It's definitely tasty. You can get it in Kimbark and High Park.
Whoa. I thought we were a team. Where's mines? And when are we getting in Tempe, Arizona?
I guess we're going to have to find out, man. But everybody out there, for here from Chicago, go to Kimbark and pick you up some Moors.
So Kailin, his iPad died, which happens. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the show anyway. But really, I'm gonna make his point for him. Or you know what? I don't know if you'll be able to hear this voice recording, but he just sent me one, so I'm gonna play it. So I don't know if y'all were able to hear that, but he basically just said he doesn't want the Bears to get Caleb Williams and ruin him too, because that's kind of what Chicago does, and he doesn't want Chicago to be known as like that place that just ruins quarterbacks, which we already are kind of known as that. But yeah, no, I get that too, and I do think I think Caleb Williams will be a good quarterback no matter where he goes, except maybe not the top two teams, which is Washington and Chicago, which both teams have a very real tendency of ruining their quarterbacks. So yeah, I think I again, I'm still very much on the fence on this one. I trust Ryan Poles to an extent to make the right decision. And if it's Fields or if it's Caleb Williams, I'll back up whoever the quarterback is, of course. But I definitely get merit to both sides, and I'm pretty sure Kailin is definitely more on the keep Justin train, and I get it, and I respect it. Anyway, yeah, we've gone for an hour. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate all y'all who tuned in. If you didn't comment, obviously you're a lurker, but we love lurkers on the show. Thank you, Frank O'Dowd and Frank Marshall, two very different Franks who both have a lot to say. Always appreciated when you do say things. Of course, thank you, Emilio, for tuning in as well. So on behalf of Kailin King, I am Elijah Zelonke, and just remember that I am. Oh man, how am I gonna close this show? How am I gonna close this show? Here, how about we watch this play real quick? That's a good one. And remember to enjoy the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it.